Hello, Chef. This is Chef's PSA. It's been a minute since we've done a solo podcast, but I'm back for one. I just came back from the James Beard Awards in Chicago. I want to share some thoughts, a really great experience that I had. Just because you love cooking doesn't mean you'll love working in kitchens. They're two totally different beasts. Let's get into it. This episode of Chef's PSA is brought to you by Foods in Season, your connection to what's wild, fresh, and exceptional. At Foods in Season, ingredients tell a story, built on decades-long relationships. Wild Columbia River king salmon, dip net caught by native tribal families, fresh morels from trusted foragers, handcrafted pantry essentials like blease, bourbon-aged maple syrup, sherry 9 vinegar, and exquisite Prima truffle products. Top chefs nationwide trust Foods in Season for quality and consistency. Order today, have it on your line tomorrow. Visit foodsinseason.com and mention Chef's PSA and receive free shipping plus a complimentary sample box on your first order. It's been a while since I've done a solo episode. What have I been up to lately? A lot. So obviously, if you've been following along, I've had a lot of guest chef interviews lately. I enjoy those very much. I hope you all are enjoying them too. Before we get into it, if you want to support the show, you know what to do. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like and subscribe button. If you're on Spotify, make sure you leave 5 stars. Also subscribe. Nothing less than 5 stars. You know the drill. You haven't heard that in a while, so I probably need to remind you. It's a 5-star podcast. If you want early access to episodes and a few exclusive episodes, you could become a premium member on Substack or Spotify. For less than $10 a month, you support the podcast, you get your early access. It's cheaper than your gas station hot dog and Red Bull, and you could get chef brains. Support the show. If you want some chef gear, swag, go to shop.chefspsa.com. You get this hat, the one that says Buck Brunch, because obviously Buck Brunch. Sucker Free Kitchens, the Just Cook line, it's all there, plus a lot of other stuff. So go check it out, shop.chefspsa.com. And if you're looking for knowledge, there's several books that I've written. Culinary Leadership Fundamentals, Kitchen Art of War. That's more for your leadership positions. Bad Sous, Good Chef, which is a fiction narrative, ideal for a new sous chef or someone that's going into that position. The sequel to that is called Bad Cooks Everywhere, but that's a great book for anybody. If you're an executive chef or you're a line cook, I think you'll enjoy it. And then for new cooks, the Line Cook Survival Manual and How Not to Be the Biggest Idiot in the Kitchen, as well as several free ebooks available on my website, chefspsa.com. But we digress. Let's get back to it. I recently came back from the James Beard Awards in Chicago, and I got to tell you, it's my first time there. Now, for people that don't know, full disclosure, I'm a member of the awards committee for the James Beard Foundation. So I did an episode a while back with Don Padmore and Elizabeth Faulkner where we talk about everything regarding the process from nomination to winning when it comes to James Beard. I got to tell you, I was very impressed with the show that was put on. I've never been to the Oscars, but I imagine that's what it's like. Red carpet, every chef that you see, they were all there. The Danielles, the Andrew Zimmermans, Padma, they're all there. All the stars are there, and when you're walking around, it's surreal. I got to bump into a lot of chefs that I haven't seen in years, and I attended all the awards from the beginning to the end. So the first night is the Media Awards. The second day is the Impact Awards. The third night is the Restaurant and Chef Awards. I also spoke on a panel with several other chefs, and there's a lot of events going on. So some highlights for me were seeing some of my friends win. So the first night, Rogelio Garcia, who he's been on this podcast twice, shout out to him. His book won Convivir. It's a great book. I was so happy for him. Gave him a big hug afterwards and congratulated him. He's one of the nicest chefs around. So if you don't have that book, you should go get it. Another highlight for me was seeing a lot of my friends that were nominated. Arjav Ezekiel won, and he gave a great speech. He's been on the podcast before as well. He's one of the best people in hospitality. Shout out to Arjav. Really happy for him. Really happy for Tracy as well, and their restaurant Birdie's in Austin, Texas. They were playing the Wrap It Up music, and Arjav said, "You're not getting me off stage. I'm going to finish this speech." So it was hilarious. It was a good moment. I was really happy to see some of my very close friends nominated. Chef Rico Torres, who's been on the show multiple times, I think more than anyone else besides me. and Diego Galicia from Michelin in San Antonio. They were nominated. They didn't win, but shout out to those guys. And congratulations to the winners from Atomix. Also, my former pastry chef, Susan Bay. Shout out Susan Bay. Second time being nominated for pastry chef. She didn't win, but Susan, third time's a charm. Let's go. And then my friend Chad Hauser, who I've known for years, who runs Cafe Momentum in Dallas, winning humanitarian. That was a special moment. All in all, it was a great event, but something special happened that I want to share with you. I was doing a panel moderated by Adrienne Cheatham, who also recently started a podcast called The Chef's Cut. You should check it out. She's hilarious, really down to earth. I think she's going to do well. So if you're looking for another chef podcast, not leaving this one, but another one. So I'm allowing you to go listen to another one, but you stay here, right? So remember who your day one is. So she was the moderator on the panel. It was me and a couple of other chefs. Beverly Kim was on there. I hadn't seen Beverly in years. And the panel was about basically other career avenues for chefs, right? So obviously I have a podcast, media, etc. So I was on there speaking to it. But afterwards, this is where the story gets really interesting. Chef Bill Kim, legendary Chicago chef, I see him in the crowd. He comes up to me. And I had spoken to him the day before at the awards. And he said, I'm coming to your panel. I'm looking forward to seeing you. So I was excited to see him again. When the panel's done and you're walking around and you're shaking hands and you're speaking to the students there or whoever's in the audience, conversation's just going casually. I see Bill out of the corner of my eye. I walk up to him. We shake hands. I greet him. Chef, what's going on? And he says to me, Chef, what do you got planned for this afternoon? I said, nothing. Why? What do you need me to do? He says, I got a surprise for you. I'm going to take you to Charlie Trotter's. Now, for those of you that don't know, and I'll share this, Charlie Trotter, when I was a young cook, was my idol. I never had the opportunity to work for him or eat his food. And honestly, it's my greatest culinary regret as a chef. Because growing up, when I was a young line cook, I had all his books, Lessons in Excellence, Lessons in Service, the cookbook series, the video series on cassette, all of it. We were all stealing out of the Charlie Trotter cookbooks. His cookbook was the first serious cookbook that I ever got. It was beautiful. I could still remember to this day, I got it as a Christmas gift. So it holds a very special place in my heart. And on a couple of trips to Chicago, I never ate there when I had the opportunity to, for a variety of different reasons, which I won't get into. Bill says, I'm taking you to Trotter's. So we show up and Dylan, Charlie Trotter's son, opens the door for us, lets us in. The place is closed, but then proceeds to give us a tour. Now, for people that don't know, for context, Chef Bill Kim used to be the chef at Trotter's. He was the chef de cuisine there on 2 different occasions. So he tours me through the dining room, and as soon as you walk in, there's a big portrait of Charlie Trotter, which I thought was super cool. We take a photo there, and they're showing me the dining room, the original tables, the original chairs. We go into the kitchen, very tiny dish station. That was the first thing I asked. I said, how many dishes did you have to wash there a service? Over 900, right? The dish station is not very large. And for people that have been through Charlie Trotter's kitchen, you'll know what I'm talking about. I see the stove, and it's still meticulous. It's still clean. It's beautiful. I'm talking to Chef, how the past used to work, where were things getting picked up. He's showing me the layout of the stations. We go into the apartment next door where they filmed the kitchen sessions, and I'm seeing all the memorabilia, all the James Beard Awards that he won, which was several. I'm hearing stories from his son. I'm looking at stills from the cookbook, menus that were signed by all the chefs. I mean, it was a really incredible experience. Now, for me as a chef, especially with what I do now with Chef's PSA, sometimes it's really easy to lose that connection with the young cook that's inside of me or the young chef that was inside of me. And for that moment, I can't explain it. It was honestly one of the best culinary experiences I had without eating any food, because I was in the kitchen of Charlie Trotter. Now, for people that know him, I'm sure he's a polarizing figure to some, but not to me, because I didn't work with him. So I only know the good side, let's say. I only know what he inspired me for many years in my cooking and how I led and how I thought about food and excellence in general. You could even say that Chef's PSA was inspired by Charlie Trotter because there was a quote in one of his books that read, "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, therefore, is not an act, but a habit." It was an Aristotle quote. I took that quote and I used to post it in my kitchens. And that was the beginning of the daily quotes. Later on, that led to what is now Chef's PSA. So indirectly, Charlie Trotter influenced what I'm doing now. He's responsible in some way for the success that I have. And being in his kitchen, it gave me butterflies. It made me feel like a young cook again. I had feelings about the industry that I hadn't felt in 20 years. So it was pretty fucking cool. So thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Bill Kim. And I'm excited to see what they do with the space. But we digress. Today's episode is about people who love cooking, but might not love working in kitchens. And they're two very distinctly different things. And I think it's important that people recognize that. Because just because you love to cook, your passion is in the kitchen. You love cooking at home. You love the creative aspect. You love making a big mess in your home kitchen and creating a big, beautiful spread and inviting your friends over and them giving you immediate feedback about how great it was. And you sit down and you enjoy the company and everyone is happy, right? Maybe you cook and you nourish people. They come over to your place. They love your food. You're cooking for them with love, right? And so you think to yourself, I love to cook. I should become a chef. Maybe that's not the right move because loving to work in kitchens is two different things. You could love to cook, but you might not love working in kitchens. It's a split path. What does loving working in kitchens really mean? To be a chef in a kitchen or a line cook, it takes a different type of person. You have to love pace and intensity. There's a lot of chaos. Like sometimes we sugarcoat the chaos because we want a less toxic environment and kitchens need to be more inclusive, et cetera, et cetera. So we sugarcoat what it really is. It is chaos. The most inclusive kitchens can be chaotic. The least toxic kitchens can be chaotic. Tickets are coming in, pressure is mounting. You have to love a certain pace and intensity. People need things now, quickly, move faster. How long? The guest is waiting. The restaurant was empty and now it's filled up. Every ticket comes in at once. There's modifiers on there. People are talking over you when you're trying to listen to the expediter. You're turning, you're twisting, you're bending, you're squatting, you're lifting, you're burning yourself, you're nicking your finger. The person next to you didn't show up. They did show up, but they showed up in a bad mood and they're picking on you, right? There's a lot of characters that work in kitchens. The kitchen is a microcosm of the real world out there. You experience it all, the ups, the downs. You experience it sometimes just in the service, right? You start out very happy, you end crushed, and then you recover and you end on a high note. In that one service, you could have 50 happy guests and 10 angry guests, and they all are going to drain you emotionally, and some of them are going to feed you emotionally. The hours can be long, right? No one gets into the culinary world and says, I want to jump in because I want an easy job, or I want to work fewer hours, I should be a chef. Let's not misconstrue it and let's not sugarcoat what it really is. It is a hard industry. And you have to love that. You have to love the fact that you are on a station and you are having to cook what you're being told to cook. You're not able to create. You're not able to have a dinner party. You're not going to receive the immediate feedback. You're not going to go touch the tables, right? That's the chef's job or that's someone else's job. You're going to make that salad 200 times tonight and make it perfect. Or you're going to just cook steaks all night. You're going to get really good at some of these things. But guess what? You're going to get really good at cooking 3 types of steaks for the next 6 months. And that's all you're going to get good at. But I want to create and I want to do all this other stuff. I want to learn about molecular gastronomy and I want to learn about fusion. Guess what? Today you're learning about vinaigrette and how it coats lettuce. That's it. That's what you're going to work on. And oh, but I'm an excellent cook at home. Where do I start? Oh, you're an excellent cook at home? Guess what? You still start at the bottom. I don't care. And the chef that's hiring you most likely doesn't care. Because just because you know how to cook doesn't mean you know how to work. They're two different things. So people throw dinner parties and they cook for their friends and they cook for their family and they think that's what it's going to be like when they get in the industry. They've watched a little bit of Gordon Ramsay on some reality show and they think, I want to do that. I want to yell in people's faces. Hopefully that's not what they're thinking. But they think, I want to cook good food. I want to be the chef. I want to own the restaurant. Okay, how much money do you have? How many investors do you have lined up? Are you willing to gamble on your idea, millions of dollars that potentially might not work, right? Why don't you do a pop-up? Sell out your pop-up first. Can you sell out 10 tickets to your pop-up every day? Oh, you can't? Then what makes you think that you should put $1 million into a restaurant for your food, right? People are not prepared for it. I've seen so many good cooks come into the kitchen. And when I say good cooks, like they know how to cook, but they don't know how to work. And I usually spot them out. Like sometimes they're fresh out of culinary school, or they're a career changer, but they're really into it. They show up, they got the knife kit, they got the $1,000 Japanese knives, they look soigné, they got the super fancy, I won't say a name, apron. I won't say a name. They don't sponsor the show, but I won't say their name. Super fancy, expensive apron, the really fitted, tight chef coat. If they're a guy, they have their hair nice and fresh. They're a girl, they have it pulled back in a ballerina bun. They look the part. They show up ready. They tell you about the latest Netflix chef's table and did you see what they were making? They know all the obscure chef's names. They could tell you all the cool techniques. They want to talk about spherification. And have you heard of molecular gastronomy, chef? Why? No, I haven't. What is it? Please tell me more. I'm very fascinated by it. And I see them. I've seen them come into the kitchens. And then they say, I really want to work for you because you make beautiful food and I want to learn. And then I say, great. And then I give them a task and they struggle after an hour of peeling carrots because it's hard. And is there something else I could work on? And I say, are you done peeling the carrots? And they say, no, but is there something else I could work on? Because I feel like I'm not learning. It's day one. It's day one. A lot of times they don't come back for day two. Because guess what? Your job is, it's peeling carrots and then scrubbing them with a little scrubby. It's making sure we have potatoes ready for tomorrow's service. And maybe you have to peel them or slice them. Guess what? We serve hand-cut French fries here. And we go through buckets of them. Guess what your job is? You're cutting buckets of French fries all day long. But chef, I want to learn about bubbles. Sorry, we're not making bubbles. We're making French fries. You're going to learn about buckets of French fries and the French fry cutter that's attached to the wall. So you can slam it down and fill up those buckets of fries. And guess what? We need 10 of them because that's how many fries we go through. But chef, I'm not learning. And chef, when can I get my break? And chef, I've been here for 8 hours and they don't come back. So do you love working in kitchens or do you love cooking? Do you love it when someone calls off on the PM shift and you think you're getting ready to go home and they say, hey, can you stay? And then you say, I was going to do something. Oh, really? What were you going to do? Nothing. Okay, like, can you stay? You don't have anything going on. Like, they got you. It's the old trick. Do you have anything going on tonight? No, I'm just going to go home. Oh, cool. Can you work tonight? Because so-and-so called off. Like, they'll ask you what you have going on first before they ask you to work. Because now you've already done the setup. That's the old chef trick. It's like, you got anything going on tonight? No? Oh, can you work? That's the trick. For those of you that don't know, always say yes if you don't want to work. That's the setup. Anyway, we digress. So it's a clear, distinct difference between loving to cook, being in your kitchen, playing your music, cooking at your pace, drinking a glass of wine, cooking for your friends, versus a pace and intensity type kitchen where it's go, I need that now, or the repetitive task of doing one thing over and over again. Two completely different things. You have to be able to thrive in the chaos, right? And I've seen many good chefs that love working in kitchens, but don't necessarily love food. And I've seen many chefs also that love food, but don't necessarily love working in kitchens. They do everything they can to avoid kitchen work because they love the creative process and talking to guests and being the chef, being the face of it. Now there's a sweet spot. There's the unicorn, so to speak. The chef that loves to cook and also loves to work. Now, if you're that chef and you love to cook and you love to create and you love everything about food and you geek out at the farmer's market and you see something new and your friends are sending you new videos of, have you seen this technique before? And you geek out on all of that, but you also love the kitchen. You love being behind the stove and skimming the stock and being on the cutting board and slicing mushrooms and onions and creating the dish and tasting it and seasoning and adjusting and tasting it again, right? Butchering the meat, cleaning the fish, making sure it's stored properly on ice or dried, whatever people are doing these days. I guess, I always stored my fish on ice, but nowadays, I guess it's very popular to dry age your fish. So when I say store it on ice, a lot of you are going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about? We dry age now. Sorry, we digress. My point was, if you're that chef that loves the kitchen, loves the chaos, can thrive in that chaos, can get pumped up, can thrive in that energy, loves to work, understands that it's a grind and it's a slow moving grind, and you're dealing with people and personalities, and sometimes you're diffusing tense situations, and you also love to cook, you will be successful. If you love to cook and you love working in the kitchen, nothing can stop you. Add to those skills, add the leadership, add the marketing, add the business acumen. You already have the other two, which should come very easy for you. It's natural for you to cook and it's natural for you to work. Now add those other skills and you'll be unstoppable. You will be a great chef. So if I was going to give advice to someone that's thinking about becoming a chef, my advice remains the same. Go work in a kitchen first. If you've never worked in a kitchen before, it might not be what you think. And I would hate for someone to go and dedicate time and money and resources to a career that they might not enjoy. Not all kitchens are the same. There's good kitchens and there's bad kitchens. But there's one thing that they all have in common. They're hot and they're hard work. And you're on your feet usually all day. I doubt you're prepping sitting down, or I doubt you're cooking on the line sitting down. Go work in a kitchen first to make sure that you understand that the reality is most kitchens have a lot in common. And if you don't like it, just because you love to cook, there are other avenues for you to go. You could still explore your love of cooking without having to work in a professional kitchen. And I've refrained from sharing this on the podcast because I haven't fully thought about how I want to say it, because I don't want people to get I don't want people to misconstrue what I'm saying. But nowadays, there's multiple career paths. We know the traditional ones of hotels, restaurants, country clubs, cruise ships, right? Cafeterias, institutional cooking. That's what we know. That's been the traditional career route. But now you have other things. You have social media, content creation, podcasting, whatever, right? So you can go into a different avenue. The best thing I would say is be good at that before you go into it. Anyway, that's it for today. It was fun doing a solo episode. I don't know when I'll do the next one. I have a lot of chefs lined up, but I wanted to share my James Beard experience, and I wanted to talk about this important topic of loving to cook versus loving working in kitchens, because I think it's important. And I think people that are listening, as my audience has grown, and it's not just chefs listening, before you jump in, think it through. Send this podcast to someone that's thinking of being a chef. Anyway, you know what to do. If you want to support the show, make sure you leave 5 stars, nothing less than 5 stars. Go to chefspsa.com. You get everything, books, merch, and we'll see you next week. Hit the porno music.
Yo, it's André in the kitchen, mixing, dropping chef knowledge, no fiction, stirring up the beats, heating up the session. Listen close, class is in session.